Hello, and welcome back to Crafty Mom Creations. I am Melissa, and today, as promised, we are going to do a paid versus free market prep pattern review. So, let me get comfortable here. If you watched the Christmas themed one, there were a couple rules I had to abide by. Had to be under $5, had to be... Alright, so I was just editing the video and I needed to come on and tell you that the entire time I was recording the Etsy part of this, where I went through looking for my patterns, well, not my patterns, but looking for the patterns I wanted to use and kind of showing how to discern between a real pattern and AI, the audio didn't work. So I went back at it again this morning to do it again. And I keep getting some kind of an error that my audio is not working. And I'm using this mic right here to record on my computer. And in the past it has worked, but for whatever reason it is not working today. So my apologies. So we're going to just go straight into the video and just disregard anything I say about watching the earlier part about being on Etsy. Under $5. And the paid and free pattern had to be as similar as possible. So let's get into it. All right, so today's patterns, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 patterns. And I will say, if you watched, well, of course you watched, you're watching this. Earlier when we were on Etsy and we were kind of looking at patterns and prices and designers and AI and all that, I will say that after I went through that with you, I did spend quite a few more days in between the last video and this video trying to find patterns that stayed within those rules that I created. And I will say that I had a huge problem trying to stay under that $5 ceiling. With that being said, there are some, not issues, but the patterns aren't as similar to each other as I was hoping for, mostly because of price. I find now trying to find patterns under $5 is getting more and more and more scarce. And I know what you're going to say, almost that they deserve a decent to be paid for their time. Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. None of my patterns are over $5 because whether I sell 1 or I sell 100, that one person is not going to pay me for my time and effort and photos and editing and testing one time. What I mean is, in my opinion, this is my opinion, and if you don't agree, that's fine. We can still be friends. Like, this is not a hill I will die on. It's just a personal thing for me. Having designed patterns, having been in the crochet community, the online crochet community for 16 years, 17 years now, because I really got into the online community when my oldest was born, and he's 16 this year, so 16 years. And I've been crocheting since I was 8. I'm going to be 41 this year, actually in a couple weeks. So I have seen the price changes. I have seen the influx of designers. I have seen customers, clients, purchasers, whatever we're calling them, other crocheters demand more from designers. I have seen everything. And my opinion is that anything over $5 for a pattern, unless it's revolutionary, which is probably not happening after crochet's been around for so long, I can likely figure it out myself. And that's not taking away from the designer's designs, because again, nobody's doing anything revolutionary here. Everything looks the same. So there's only so many shapes, and I know I've said this in the Christmas one, there are only so many shapes, so many stitches that you can manipulate so many different ways to make different shapes. Like, it's not, for someone who's been doing this for as long as I have, this is not rocket science to me. This is an everyday thing. It's not a big deal. Honestly, all the patterns I see I could make on my own, no problem. I choose to support other designers. And maybe that sounds a little arrogant. It's just how I feel and how I see things. And I think the community is still changing and evolving. Some for the good, some for the not so good. Anyways, this is not a bashing video, and I'm trying to keep it away from that. So we have 5 patterns, and I will say that one of the patterns I did purchase, I did find it for free on Instagram as well. So when I put the links in the description, I will put both of them in there for you. I think we are going to start with, I guess, my least favorite. And we'll go to my favorite. So I'm just finishing a little bit of the details here I didn't finish. So I'm going to show you both of them at the same time, and you can, pardon me, guess down in the comments which one is the paid version and which one is the free version, and which one do you like better. So I did use all the same yarn type for these patterns. Like, I didn't switch back and forth. I used, all of it was loops and threads. I guess it's not loops and threads anymore. I'm not sure, but it's the hold on, I want to get this right because the last time I didn't. I know I have one with a skein thing on it. Okay, it's the Big Twist Posh. So this is what I used for everything. So this is the first pattern. It is a horse. You can guess down in the comments which one is paid and which one is free. Their little tails. I will say that the patterns themselves are almost identical. The stitch count, this one's a little bit chubbier, a little bit longer. This one's got a longer neck. The hair is done differently, but in the grand scheme of things, you could have followed one pattern and got the other one. Like, it's that similar. Okay, so free and paid, which one's which? All right, so the paid pattern is this one with the longer neck and the halter on it. So the mane is done by just curling the yarn, so you pull it out and you twist it, and then you go back in with a slip stitch. So this one is the paid pattern. Just give me a second here. I didn't pull everything up as I should have. I have everything pulled up now. So this is by Crochet, Lovely Crochet, and I paid $4.35 for this pattern. And you can let me know down in the comments if you think it was worth that. The pattern itself, let's see here, I'm just going to open it up in my Google Drive. Okay, it's called Little Horse, and by Crochet, Lovely Crochet. So the pattern itself is pretty basic, pretty simple, nothing out of the ordinary. She tells you when to change colors. Some of the parts are highlighted to tell you to work in the back loops, and then some other pieces are randomly highlighted for I don't know why. There was nothing tricky. The muzzle is sewn on, or not sewn on, but crocheted in. So that was kind of a, not different because I've done it before. It's not revolutionary. It's not something new. The pictures are great. Lots of pictures. When I look at a pattern, I'm not looking for a whole, I'm looking for details, of course, but there's some details that I think are time wasters, like basic amigurumi, or even with normal crochet patterns. It's almost like a lot of these patterns are teaching you how to crochet when you already should know. Like if you're buying a pattern and you want to make something, you should already have the basic skills to create something. Yes, there's going to be some techniques you'll have to look up, or the pictures that are in the pattern or the videos that are in the pattern are amazingly helpful. However, if you do not know how to increase, decrease, if you don't know how to do the no-sew part where you're going through the finished piece and into the part you're working on, like legs into the bottom of the body, if you don't know how to do those things, you probably shouldn't be making patterns yet. Like, I think a lot of designers' time are wasted on teaching people who are buying the pattern how to do these very simple skills that you should already know before you're purchasing patterns. Like, I get it, you want to make something cute, you're bored of just doing swatches or balls or whatever, but this is how you learn those skills. It is not a designer's job to teach you how to do these simple skills that are required to create their pattern. You should already know them. Most patterns at the beginning will tell you, like in the abbreviations, magic circle, round, single crochet, stitch, increase, decrease, slip stitch, chain, back loop only, half double crochet, DC. You should know the abbreviations. You should know how to do them before you start the pattern. If you don't know them, it's my opinion, it's not the designer's job to teach you. Not unless they have like a beginner's course, or they teach on YouTube or anything like that. I think so much time is wasted with the designer's time teaching beginners the beginner skills you need to create these things. I think it's a waste of time, and I think partially it's part of the problem of patterns being so expensive now, is because designers are being demanded to photo tutorials, video tutorials, teach me how to do an invisible increase, an invisible decrease. You should already know these things. It's not the designer's job. So, again, another rant, my apologies. Yeah, there's some stuff that's highlighted that I'm not sure why it's highlighted. Like, it wasn't, there was a detailed description and then every row is highlighted. I'm not sure if that continuity was supposed to be through the whole pattern, or you're just supposed to, I guess, maybe pay more attention to the rounds. But it's the entire body and head that's highlighted. But in the hands and the legs, it's just back loop only. So, yeah. not a bad pattern. Lots and lots of pictures. The designer definitely took her time designing the pattern itself in the PDF. All right, on to the free version. So the big similarities here are going to be leg placement. This the paid pattern has a longer neck, and the mane is different, and the muzzle here. In this one, we put the pattern called for a halter. So this one is by Atomic Crochet, and it is a free YouTube tutorial. The tutorial is very calming, very easy to follow. She's fantastic with her YouTube tutorials. The muzzle is put on exactly the same way as the other pattern, other than the stitch counts being off each other, not off in general for the pattern, but off each other. Just let me double check here, because I did write some notes down from the YouTube tutorial. They are pretty much identical, except for the paid pattern. The stitch count's smaller. So you're starting with 5 single crochets in a magic ring, and Atomic Crochet you're starting with 9. So that is the big difference. Other than that, these two patterns were pretty much identical. How you put them together, the only difference is placement and your starting number of single crochets in the magic ring. So those are the horses, and of course I will put the links to all these in the description. Now, would I do these again? Sorry, my shirt's bothering me here. I don't like them, and I'm not sure if that's something I did, if it's the pattern I don't like, because honestly, like, this is the picture for Crochet Lovely Crochets. My horse does not look like that. Maybe if I do them again, because sometimes when I do the pattern the first time it doesn't quite turn out, but then the second time I kind of know what I'm doing and it works out better. But seeing as these were so close in design, I don't like them, so don't think I'm going to do them again. I will take them to my next market, of course, and I will put them out, see if they sell. If people end up liking them and they sell well, maybe I'll make more, I don't know. But as it stands right now, it's not something I would do again. And time-wise, for the size, they took me 45 minutes to an hour to do, especially this hair on the Atomic Crochet one. It's just increases in the chain stitch. I don't think I can charge enough to make up for the time it takes to do all that hair at this size. I would have to charge around $12, $15, and I don't know if they'll sell. So maybe different colors. I might make another one just to see what happens. So that is the horses. And what should we do next? What should we do next? Okay, I'm going to do this one next. Where's the other one? There it is. Okay, so this was one of the patterns that I could not find a free and paid pattern that were similar. So they are cats, and I'm tried very, very difficultly, if that's even a word, to stay away from the loaf cats, because we know they're popular, we know most of the time they sell. I wanted to do something different. So these are the patterns. I think they're both kind of cute. You can tell me down in the comments, left or right, which one is paid and which one is free. still have some fluffy stuck to them. I need to take the lint roller to them. Okay, so which one should we start with? I'm going to start with the free one first, because we started with the paid one last time. So this is a pattern by Manua Stuff. I'll put it on the screen because I'm probably absolutely massacring her name. But this is the free one. And this is a YouTube tutorial. Sorry, the light on here is making it look very yellow. There we go. Very simple, very easy to work up. It took me 20 minutes, even with the color changes in the face. I also did a white one. I think it looks kind of more like a tiger, but that's okay. This is actually the first one I did, because I didn't want to mess around too much with color changes first. You can see my lines are off up there. I can fix that though. So these are my kitties. These are the free patterns. It's a YouTube tutorial. Super easy to follow. She gives you the directions to do a one color one first, and then she goes back and she shows you how to do the two colors. And she has a bunch of different cats at the beginning of the video where you can see which ones she's done and kind of get inspiration for color changes from her. They worked up, like I said, 20-25 minutes, even with the color changes. I liked the pattern. It was simple. I didn't have to adjust too much for the bobbles and my tension and choice of yarn. I do believe she used something closer to the loops and threads, like the Posh Pearl, the really thin stuff, or the Skinny Chenille. So hers were smaller, but they turned out super, super cute. They're worked from the top to the bottom, and then you surface crochet the ears on after, which was really, really simple. So those are those. And then there is this one. This one was the paid pattern. And I paid, let me see here. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Where'd the kitty go? Apparently my Wi-Fi is a little slow today. There we go. I paid $4.44. And the designer is Fordidi, Fordidi. I'll put it on the screen for you. So this pattern, there's no parts of the pattern on here. So I'm just going to show you this. You see all the little kitties options down in the bottom there? I think it's just no color changes, just different colored yarn. There's a video tutorial. So this one took me probably half an hour. And of course, the two, they're very different. They're very different. I think they're both cute. I would absolutely do both of them again. I like the way they turned out. Different styles for different types of people, I guess. These are not baubles though. This was interesting. This wasn't revolutionary, but it was different than the baubles we see on pretty much everything else. So these are made by chaining out and then bringing the chain back in. So you can see there's like, I can basically stick my finger through. There's a loop, and the paws are done, all the 4 paws are done the same way. So you make the chain, you work into the chain, and then you work the chain back into the body, if that makes sense. I think it gives it a little bit of a different look than the baubles. It's something a little bit different, which I'm looking for. Tail, super simple, worked right in. You surface crochet the ears. or I surface crocheted them because I didn't want to sew them. Yes, you sew the ears on. I surface crocheted them. So, very simple pattern. Honestly, if you were to take the ears off, you could turn that into a bear, a dog, an otter, a monster, whatever you wanted. Which is kind of the point I've always been getting at, is I could take, let's just say, for example, I made this pattern. And I didn't, and I'm not taking credit for it, but let's just say, hypothetically, I made this pattern. And I paid $4.40 something for this pattern. $4.44. Now, I can take this pattern and change the ears and turn it into a dog. I can take this pattern, change the ears again, and turn it into a bear. Take the tail off, change the tail, and turn it into a squirrel. And the only work I'm doing to change as a designer to change this one pattern into countless other animals is simply copy and pasting the pattern and changing the tail and the ears. Change the face details. That's it. This is why when somebody comes out with a pattern that is, say, a unicorn, and then they do a horse, and then they do a pig, then they do a cat and a dog and a rabbit, the body is still the same, the legs are still the same. The only things that are changing is maybe some hair, a horn, a nose, maybe a muzzle. Like, they're very simple changes to make what they see as a completely new pattern. I don't see it as a completely new pattern. I see it as a modification of an original pattern. But they're selling it as a whole new pattern and charging $8 for it. So when I go, well, oh, I like the horse and I like the rabbit, and I buy one pattern and then I buy the other pattern and it's all the exact same steps except for the ears, then I feel cheated. I feel like I paid for the same thing again, if you will. I think that was an easier way to explain how I feel about patterns, is that I feel cheated when the body is copy and pasted into 7 different patterns and the only work to change it was the ears or a tail or something very simple that doesn't require a great deal of time. It's like the whole wash, rinse, repeat kind of idea. Okay, another rant. I'm horrible for this. Next patterns. Because we did the kitties. We did the horses. I'm going to do these ones next because these are super cute. So, paid versus free. I'm sure you'll be able to figure this out because this is one of the ones, again, where I couldn't find 2 patterns that were similar and followed the rules. So, paid and free. There's skunks. They're so cute. I'm sure this one you can really tell which one was paid and which one was free based on detail. So, this one was the paid one, and this is by Madeline Made Co. I'm sure you've heard of her because I hear about her all the time when I'm binge watching crochet YouTube videos. And the detail is super cute. It is, I will say, a lot of work to do all of this. It is a lot of work. However, in the pattern, just let me open it up here. I will say I only paid $2.19 for this. the price for the amount of detail compared to buying this for almost $5 was very much worth it. So the pattern is very simple, like not simple like just thrown together. The pattern is very well put together. There are great photos where she does it in a different color than black, because black of course is the pain of all of us trying to find your stitches. So she did the photos in a different color, which was great. Easy to put together. Everything is sewn in. The only thing you have to do is of course the base details, and these are not sewn, they're surface crocheted on, but I will say this took me a hot minute. It took a while. I would have to charge, just for the amount of time it took to do this back of this head, I would have to charge $25 for this guy, and he's kind of small. Like if this was just like a teddy bear kind of thing, or something along those lines where all this detail was not on it, I'd only charge, $15 for it. So this detail adds a lot. She gives really good photos of how to do all this and which way to go. By the time I got to the head, I just kind of did my own thing because I was so, I don't want to say frustrated, because it wasn't hard. It was just time consuming. But she shows you where to take the hair down. I actually didn't go as far down as she did. I might go back and put some more white in here. Sorry, my voice is funny today. So Madeline Maidco, I am definitely going to try some more patterns from her. I very much enjoyed this pattern, and I want to make it again. However, way too time consuming for what I can charge for a market item. So that was the paid one, and this one is the free pattern. This, I will say, worked up very, very quickly. I would adjust a couple things going forward. I am going to make another one because I want to use some like fluffy yarn. But you can see on the sides the way the slip stitches go in. I don't really like the way that looks. So I might go back for the next one and do something a little bit different. I also need to put some white around the eyes so you can see it. And I did use a safety nose, where on this one I did embroider it. This is kind of giving me like black sheep vibes too. But this is the skunk. And this one is a free pattern by, oh my goodness, I am going to destroy her name. She is Canadian. She actually doesn't live too far from me. She is in the Cambridge area. Oh, Emily. I'm going to destroy her name, and that's not okay. Just a second. She also does a lot of 3D printed stuff too. I'm sure you've seen her stuff. Emmy's by Angeli, Angel, I don't know. But this is it here. And of course I will put the link down in the description, of course, for all of these. It's a free pattern on Instagram. Lots of abbreviations, like she explains everything. There's pictures on the free Instagram in the slides. She does a really good job at explaining things. These are like popcorn stitches, not baubles. They're cute. I don't see that much of a difference between that and a bobble stitch, other than it takes me a little bit longer because this popcorn stitch you have to remove the hook, put it in the other side and pull through. Other than that, very simple pattern. The ears are crocheted in the round, like you're not surface crocheting or anything, you're doing it as you do the round. Tail is done first and then crocheted in, and then you leave a long tail to kind of attach it to the back so it stays up. But I think I'm going to make a couple of those for my next market for sure. So definitely I would use for markets, probably not as a like mass prep item. I wouldn't do a whole lot of these, maybe one or two just to have something different kind of thing. Which we all know I prefer at my markets is to have different stuff. Okay, next patterns. Did that one. So we have two more. And I am missing a piece somehow or another. Like I've done it. It's just not sitting here to show you what it is. So give me a second, let me find that, and I'll be right back. Found the other piece. I just need to trim this off here, tuck it in. Okay. I'm going to hold off on showing you that one just because it's my favorite. So my next patterns, this is the one that I found out after I paid for it, which is fine, that there was also a free pattern on Instagram. So, well, I haven't done his face details yet. Oops. You can kind of decide which one's the free and which ones I paid for. He's got these little yellow rain boots. So these are my clouds. And put the stormy one in the middle. My clouds. I was going to do like fluffy yarn, but as I started working on it, it was not agreeing with me, so I just used the oh, now I've forgotten. I was just telling you guys about it, what kind of yarn it was. The Big Twist Posh. I keep forgetting. So, we'll do the free one first. This is the free one. I believe it's called, it's one of the Amusables, like a Jellycat dupe, if you will. It is a free pattern on Instagram, and it is by, see if I can find it here now, because I save pretty much every free pattern I come across. My Wi-Fi is very, very slow today. I don't know why. And believe it or not, I am still fighting that cold that I had a couple weeks ago. Okay, we're just going to do the free one while this loads because I don't know what it's doing. These were the paid ones. There's also a free Instagram. And I paid, what did I pay for them? Purchases. Of course, my Wi-Fi is all funky today. I don't know why. I paid $3.24 for this. The Happy and Sad Cloud, and this is by Little Yarn Pals. And I have to say, they are super cute. It's supposed to. This one's supposed to have a lightning thing that goes on here, and this is supposed to have a rainbow, but I didn't get those done. But they are so cute. I will put them on for my markets because I'm just going to take all this stuff to my markets. The pattern was, it's well put together. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. So it's puddles, puddles, and smudge. Puddles and smudge. And the pattern's well put together. There's obviously a lot of work put into designing just the look alone. There's a backstory. She has a cute little story. In the quiet corner of the sky where soft cotton clouds floated lazily and the sun always seemed to shine just a little bit brighter, lived two very special clouds, Smudge and Puddles. Cute. And then it goes into the pattern. There's not a whole lot to say. You are sewing on the teardrop legs and the yellow rain boot legs. It would be kind of difficult to put them in the rounds considering you're working from this end to this end. I wasn't 100% in love with the raindrop legs. I think maybe they could have been done the other way around, but yeah, maybe I sewed them on wrong because they look different in the pattern. It's always a possibility I sewed them all wrong. I did sew them on wrong. The bulbous ends, the ones I put at the top, should be the other way around, like it should be flipped. Way to go, Melissa. See, I can screw up. I always screw up. It's alright. It's alright, because nobody's going to care when it comes down to it. Nobody's going to know at the market that they're supposed to be the other way around. But the pattern is well designed. It's easy, nothing revolutionary, nothing confusing really. So yeah, simple, easy peasy. They are cute though. And I think they're really good for spring and summer markets. Would I make them again? Absolutely. I will definitely be making a couple more of these. And back to the Museable one that my Instagram still won't load. I'm not sure why. So I will put all the information about the pattern over here, whichever. This was the free pattern. I've been eyeing it for a while that I wanted to do. And I will say that you need these need to be stuffed, the feet. However, I didn't stuff them because they are done with half double crochets and double crochets to make the foot. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but those are half double and double crochets together, which means there are some holes between. And I think they need to be stuffed, but I didn't want to stuff them because I knew the stuffing was going to come out through those holes. I think, oh, I missed sewing a piece on there too. The leg's kind of off. I'll have to fix that. I think the feet, legs could have been done slightly different to avoid those holes and still get the same look. Free pattern on Instagram, kind of cute, super cute actually. I think the paid pattern, or you can even get this one free on Instagram, has a little more shaping to it than this one. This one's a little more like chunky and bulbous, where this has got a little more, it feels more flowy. So that's the clouds. Now, these ones, both the free and the paid pattern, was my favorite. And you'll see here in a second, I kind of messed up the first one, which is also my favorite one. So just bear with me here while I put it together, if I can get it together, because I did screw it up. And I will absolutely be making more of both the free and the paid pattern of this. I'm sure you've seen it online somewhere. Okay, it's not going to work. That one's not going to work because I messed it up. And I'll explain to you how I messed it up. Here's the other one. I made marshmallows. Look at how cute they are. Okay, I'll show you one of each. Look at how adorable they are. I'm sure you know which one's the paid and which one's the free pattern. Look at the stick, the marshmallow. I'm gonna put that on the top there. It's so cute. Okay, free versus paid, which one's which? You tell me down in the comments. Alright, so just looking for the receipt on this one because it's telling me I paid $5.65 for the pattern and I know I didn't go over $5 for anything. So just let me see if I can get the receipt. Okay, so this was the paid pattern. And what did I pay? What does it say here? Order summary, $5. Oh, I paid $5.65 because I paid 65 cents tax, so it was $5. Does that count? I think it should. It's just tax. I think it should. I think that counts. Okay, paid pattern. And this is by Little Baby Rory Crafts. And it is the most adorable marshmallows ever. And you can take the marshmallow off the stick and put it back on. Although putting it back on is not the easiest. And I don't know if that's a me problem or not. But it does go back on with a little bit of help. I messed the first one up. This is the first one I did because I thought the toasted marshmallow was the cutest thing ever. But in the bottom, you're supposed to do, you do like a cone, if you will, and then you go out and around, and then you don't sew in that bottom. See, you can see right through it. I closed up the bottom on this one like you're supposed to on a normal amigurumi, and then I was making the stick and I went to put it on going, how do you put the stick through? So note to self, note to other crocheters, always read through the pattern first. I am horrible at not doing that. But these are my marshmallows and they're sticks and they're so cute. The pattern is, where is it first? I know it's here. I wrote all the notes on the pattern itself instead of writing it in my book. There it is, marshmallow sticks. Let me show you just the picture that she uses. Look at how cute it is. I want to do a couple more with the flame. Oops. With the flame. They're so cute. And I think the way she displayed them in that log was just fantastic. And the little pieces of chocolate. There's a video tutorial, of course, which is fantastic. And I just kind of, I don't want to show you any of the information because that's not okay. But look at the pictures. Look at her pictures. They're so cute. The pardon me, the pattern is well written. Nothing revolutionary, nothing dramatic, easy to put together. This is actually a super simple pattern. I highly recommend this one. Would I do it again? Absolutely. What am I going to charge? I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking $10 to $12. What do you think? Because I did have to go buy dowels from the dollar store to put around the to crochet around, and see sometimes they pop out. when you go to put it through the marshmallow. It is still super, super cute though. Look at how cute that is. Like, it's adorable. Okay, on to the next one. These were the free patterns. I haven't done the face on this one yet, but look at how cute that is. Look at how cute it is. This is a free pattern on Instagram, and of course my Instagram is not loading, so I can't tell you who the pattern is by, but I will put it on the screen and I will put it in the description. This pattern, cute little marshmallow, took like 15 minutes to work up. I have 2 of them. Super simple, super easy, great for summertime markets, especially if you're doing any markets in like cottage country. There was nothing hard. You're not sewing anything on. These are baubles. It's all done in one piece. There's some back loops, back loops for the top and the bottom just to get that marshmallowy shape. And my husband and I were joking around and we were talking about this being a toilet paper roll, like toilet paper, and just to do like a little piece that came off as toilet paper and give it a little shine, a little sign that says something about toilet paper. Or doing the middle cone in here where you get that hole, doing it in brown and then doing the rest in white as the toilet paper and the toilet paper roll. We were joking around about that. I might actually do one of those and make a little sign, turn it into like a keychain or something. We'll see. All right, so we've gone to my least favorite to my favorite. Ones I will do again. So the cat, the clouds, the marshmallows, both the free and the paid. So the free cat, I'll do both the cats. Both cats, the paid clouds, although you can get it for free. Both the marshmallows, paid and free. And the skunk, the free one, absolutely. The paid one, not so much, just because it's a lot of work for markets. Now, if I'm doing, I won't even say for markets, I'm talking market prep where I am like mass producing, not mass producing because I can't mass produce, I'm only one person. But I mean when we're doing like 5, 10 of one thing. Like I can pop these cats out, couple in an hour. That one, not so much. But it is cute. I will do it again. Not so much for market prep though. That's something I will make and put away when I'm not market prepping. And I am going to show you the other couple things I did get done in the last couple days while I was working on these paid versus free. I did this. This is a paid pattern by Rachel's Handmade Huggables, I believe. Yes, this is her Bee Buddy pattern. And it is the cutest thing ever. I've made quite a few of these. They sell pretty well for me at markets. And the cute little bee wings. Isn't that adorable? So I made one of those. I'm going to make another one because I've kind of decided that this week I'm going to do larger makes that take a little bit longer. And then next week I'm going to pound out all my little stuff like dinos, little handheld, quick little things. So I think I've ranted more than enough about paid versus free patterns. I will say that paid patterns won this time because those marshmallows, not only are they something different, but they're super cute and very ingenuitive. compared to just circles and bobbles. So I think the Marshmallows won this round. With that being said, I will see you next week when we are in full-on chaos mode for market prepping. We have the grilled cheese challenge coming up in 2 weeks, and my kids just so happen to have a PA day the day before. So usually what that Friday is usually chaos for me while I am getting everything ready, finishing tagging. It is a day of craziness. I will have all four, not five. My oldest will still be at school because he's in high school. But I will have the 4 youngest home with me, driving me crazy. I will loop you in and you can watch the chaos. Until then, we'll see you again. Bye.